close your eyes. Feel the weight of the day, the business, the noise, just letting it go. Let it drift away like a small boat on a vast, dark ocean, disappearing over the horizon until it is just a memory. And now, there is only this moment, only this peace. Tonight we descend. We are leaving the rush of the world above. We are leaving the hard edges of the room you are in. You are safe now, floating, supported, surrounded by the oldest sound in the universe, the quiet, constant rhythm of the deep Atlantic. The North Atlantic is a place of immense power. By day, it is a brilliant, blinding blue, but by night it is a soft, deep velvet, a place of profound peace. In its endless, dark cradle, the ocean holds its secrets closely. It holds memories, thousands of years of memories, held deep in the cold, still water. These are not stories of terror. Not tonight. Tonight they are stories of rest. They are the whispers of the ghost ships. Vessels whose journeys ended not in storm, but in a silence so deep, so complete, it calls us all to slumber. Relax your shoulders. Feel them dropping away from your ears. Release your jaw. Let your hands become heavy and warm. Feel yourself swaying gently, very gently, with the rhythm of the tide. Even in your bed, you can feel the ocean's pull, a gentle rocking motion, in and out. Our first secret waits for us now. It is the most famous of all. Perfect, empty ship. The tale of the Mary Celeste. Imagine the year, 1872. The month is December. The air is cool, but the sea is calm. You are aboard a vessel called the Dei Grazia. You are sailing through the deep, rolling blue, a peaceful, endless expanse of water, somewhere between the Azores and Portugal. The sun is warm on your face. The sound of the canvas sails, full of wind, is a soft, steady whoosh. And then a sight. On the horizon, another ship, a brigantine. She is drifting in a way that feels wrong, too slow, aimless. Her sails are mostly set, but they are angled poorly to the wind. They flap lazily. As you approach, you call out. Your voice echoes across the water. Ahoy! The name painted clearly on her stern. Mary Celeste. As you draw closer, you notice the stillness, the profound stillness. There is no reply to your hail, no sailor on deck, no one at the wheel. The ship is completely, unnervingly silent. The only sound is the thwack of her own sails and the gentle slap of the water against her hull. A small boarding party crosses over. The sound of their boots on the wooden deck seems impossibly loud. What they found was not chaos. It was not fire or storm or battle. What they found was utter, terrifying order. The Mary Celeste was not wrecked. She was perfectly seaworthy. A fine ship. Everything was in its place. The ship's cargo, over 1,700 barrels of alcohol, was untouched. Below deck, in the crew's quarters, their belongings were still packed neatly away. Their pipes, their boots, the small comforts of home. In the galley, the kitchen, a meal was partially prepared. The kettle sat on the stove, cold. The captain's cabin was undisturbed. His wife's sewing machine sat on a table, a piece of fabric still under the needle. A small bottle of oil for the machine was sitting upright, not spilled. The logbook was there on the desk, up to date, but with the last entry made 10 days before. November 25th, it said, weather clear, sea calm. They found a child's toy, a small wooden horse, lying on its side. No struggle, no sign of panic, no sign of violence. The single lifeboat was missing. It was as if 10 people, the captain, his wife, his young daughter, and the 7 men of his crew, had simply, in the middle of a calm sea, stopped what they were doing, lowered the lifeboat, and walked away into nothing, into the vast, empty blue. Let the mystery sit with you now. You don't need to solve it. Sleep is not about solving. It is about accepting. Accept the utter, impossible silence of that empty ship. Imagine yourself on that deck. The sun is warm. The smell of the brine and the hot wood. The sound of the wind filling sails that carry no one. The gentle, rocking motion of a ship with no hand at the wheel. It is a picture of absolute peace. A perfect, silent vessel drifting on a perfect, silent sea. What force, so quiet, so utterly calm, could persuade an entire crew to abandon a perfectly good ship in the middle of a peaceful ocean? We will never know, and that is okay. The Mary Celeste is a symbol of the great unsaid, the things we cannot explain. A beautiful, ghostly cradle drifting forever on the currents of our deep subconscious. Let the thought of that empty vessel carry your thoughts away now. Let them drift as she drifted, aimlessly, peacefully. Just let go. Let go of the need to know why. And now, we let the Mary Celeste drift away. We watch her sails disappear over the curve of the world. And we are floating, just floating, in the deep, dark, quiet. Feel the gentle sway, the rhythm of your own breathing, in and out, a rhythm as old as the ocean itself. Your body is heavy. Your bed is supporting you. There is nothing to do, nowhere to be, only the sound of the deep water and the pull of the next story, the pull of sleep, sinking deeper now. We sail south now and forward in time, down the eastern coast of the United States, to a stretch of water called Diamond Shoals, off the coast of North Carolina. It is a place known by sailors as the graveyard of the Atlantic. So many ships have found their final rest here. But tonight, it is not a graveyard. Tonight, it is a place of quiet rest. It is here on the 31st of January in the year 1921 that another mystery was found. Spotted in the gray morning mist, the five-masted schooner, the Carol A. Deering. She was stranded, run hard aground on a lonely, shifting sandbar. She was tilted, her great masts leaning toward the sea. The sea around her was choppy, dangerous, but the ship itself was largely intact. Her sails were set, battered by the wind, snapping softly like tired flags. A sound like thunder but far away. And again the silence, the human silence. No one on deck, no one waving for help. When the Coast Guard finally reached the wreck, days later, battling the rough surf, they found the same chilling scene. No crew, not a soul. But this time things were different, more unsettling. The lifeboats were gone. The navigational equipment was missing. The ship's logbook also gone. This was not a calm departure. But the most unsettling part? The cooking pots were sitting undisturbed on the stove in the galley. Food was prepared, waiting for a crew that would never eat. It was a sudden departure, a hurried choice, made in the middle of preparing a meal. The ship's cat was found, hiding, the only living thing on board. The final moments of that crew remain sealed, like the ocean floor beneath the hull. What happened on that ship? A mutiny? Pirates? A storm? The theories are endless, but they do not matter tonight. Imagine the wind whistling through the five masts, a lonely, high-pitched sound, like a flute. The sandbar stretches out in the gray gloom of the morning. You are standing on the deserted deck. The wood is wet and cold beneath your feet. The only sound is the relentless, rhythmic pounding of the waves against the hull. A deep, hollow thump, 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 a sound like a distant heartbeat. The Deering is a story of a journey almost finished, so close to home, caught on the sands of time. It is an invitation to accept the unknown, to let go of the questions. You don't need the answer. You only need the quiet. You only need the rhythm of the waves. Thump, thump, thump. Let that rhythm wash away your waking thoughts. Let the sound of the wind through the rigging soothe your mind. In the end, all things return to the sea, and the sea always grants peace. Let the image of the Deering fade into the gray mist. She is at rest now, a permanent, silent reminder of the ocean's deep embrace. And as she fades, you sink deeper, deeper into comfort, deeper into the soft, welcoming darkness of sleep. The mist is all around us now, a soft, gray blanket. It hides the world. It muffles all sound. You can hear your own breathing, slow, steady. You can feel the coolness of the mist on your skin. It is refreshing. It is calm. The world is gone. There is only this mist, this peace, this moment of absolute stillness. You are safe inside this cloud of rest, drifting, weightless, And as we drift in this mist, we leave the realm of verifiable fact. We leave the world of logbooks and sandbars, and we enter the quiet, endless world of legend. This is where the ocean's truth meets our dreams. From out of the mist, a shape emerges, the most famous of all phantom ships, the Flying Dutchman. This is the story of a vessel forever cursed to sail the seas, never to make port, never to find rest. The legend tells of a captain, Vanderdecken. He was battling a terrible storm off the Cape of Good Hope. He swore a dark oath that he would round the Cape, even if it took him until Judgment Day. And so, he does. Imagine her silhouette, huge and dark, much older than the other ships. Her masts are tall and black against the gray mist. An eerie light glows from within her, faint, red glow, like a dying ember. The sails are torn to ribbons, and yet they hold the wind. The deck is silent, save for the ghost of the captain himself, forever pacing back and forth, forever charting a course that never, ever ends. But the Dutchman is not a sight of horror. Not tonight. Tonight we see it differently. It is a vision of endless, unbroken commitment, a devotion to the journey, promise kept forever. Look closely at the mist around her. It is deep, soft, and gray, protects her from the world. It is the blanket of eternal night. Her curse is simple: never stop moving. But for us tonight, this endless movement, this is the definition of peace. We are spectators to a boundless drift, a journey with no deadline, no destination, no pressure, no hurry, only the constant, gentle, forward motion. As you listen to the rhythmic creaking of the phantom ship, a sound like a slow, sad song, let your mind become the ocean, vast, deep, and utterly unhurried. The Dutchman sails into your dreams. She asks nothing of you. She only offers her timeless journey as a path to your own rest. Breathe in the quiet of the night. Breathe out all tension. You are floating now, drifting without direction. And that is fine. That is perfect. The Dutchman represents the thoughts that keep sailing, the worries that circle in our minds. But tonight, you do not board that ship. You let them sail past. They are just a phantom ship passing in the night. They cannot touch you. You are safe and you are at peace. Your mind becomes as wide as the ocean, and the Dutchman becomes a tiny speck on the horizon. Fading, her red light blinks out, gone, leaving only the sound of your own slow, deep breathing. Deeper now, sinking deeper, past the surface world, past the world of storms and sails, down into the quiet, still, deep. It is not dark here. It is a soft, comfortable blue, a twilight blue. The water is not cold. It is your own temperature. It holds you, supports you from every side. You are weightless, All pressure is gone. All effort is gone. You are just being, floating, drifting, deeper and deeper into rest. Our journey now takes us further north, much further north, into the ice, into the Arctic, where the air is sharp and the sea turns to solid blue-white glass, where the sun disappears for months, and the only light is the soft, green curtain of the aurora borealis. This is the story of the Octavius, a ship found in 1775, drifting off the coast of Greenland. She was not empty. She was frozen in time. A whaling ship called the Herald found her, a lonely, ice-encrusted vessel. Her sails were gone, shredded by Arctic winds years ago. Her hull was a mountain of ice. The boarding party had to chop their way below deck. The silence was absolute, deeper than any silence they had ever known. They found the entire crew below deck, 28 men, frozen solid, preserved perfectly by the Arctic cold. They were in their bunks, wrapped in blankets, as if they had all simply gone to sleep and never woken up. The most poignant, peaceful sight was in the captain's cabin. The captain himself sat at his desk, pen in hand, in the middle of writing in his logbook. He was frozen in the very act of recording his journey. The ink was frozen on the tip of his pen. The logbook entry was the last he ever wrote. It read, "We have now been trapped in the ice for 17 days. The last entry was dated 1762, 13 years earlier. He was frozen in that moment. Beside him, in a chair, a woman, wrapped in a heavy sailor's cloak, and on her lap, a small child also wrapped in blankets. All perfectly still, all perfectly silent. The Octavius had been trapped in the ice and had been drifting, a frozen tomb, for over a decade. A ghost ship of ice. This is not a story of fear. It is a story of stillness, of time itself stopping, of a moment held perfectly in the ice. Imagine the cold, not a harsh cold, but a deep, numbing, peaceful cold, like a heavy blanket, a blanket of snow. Imagine the silence of the snow falling on the deck. The only sound is the faint, high singing of the wind over the ice and the deep, slow groan of the ice pack as it shifts, a sound like a sleeping giant turning over. The Octavius is a reminder that all activity, all urgency, all striving, all worry eventually comes to rest. All urgency fades, all striving ceases, and in that final stillness, there is a profound peace. Let the Arctic cold soothe your mind. Let the image of the silent, frozen ship allow you to release all your own movements, all your own thoughts. Let them freeze. Let them stop. You are still now. You are quiet, and you are deeply, deeply at rest. The ice holds you. The silence keeps you. Sleep. You are drifting in the ice now. The world is white and blue. It is clean. It is pure. You are floating in a sea of slush, like a cloud. The air is so still. You can hear the sound of a single snowflake landing. Your body is perfectly still. Your mind is perfectly clear. There are no thoughts, only the feeling of cold, clean peace. You are not cold. You are just still and safe. We travel now to a different kind of ice, the pack ice north of Alaska, and a different kind of ship, a ship that refused to die, a ship that chose its own freedom, the SS Bechimo. She was not an old schooner. She was a modern 230-foot steel cargo steamer, built to last. In 1931, on her last journey of the season, carrying a cargo of valuable furs, she became trapped in the ice. A sudden early winter closed in. The crew held on for a month, but the ice was too strong. Eventually, most of the crew was rescued by air. A few men stayed behind, building a small shelter on the ice to wait out the winter. Then, a massive blizzard struck. It lasted for 3 days. The wind was a howling scream. The snow was a blinding wall of white. When the storm finally cleared, the Bechimo was gone. The men looked out at a ridge of broken ice where the ship used to be. They assumed she had been crushed by the ice pressure and had sunk. They were rescued, and the ship was declared lost, left for dead. But the Bechimo did not sink. The storm had broken her free. When spring came, the ice melted, and the ship was free. And for the next 38 years, the SS Bechimo sailed the Arctic Ocean alone. She was spotted dozens of times by Inuit hunters in their kayaks, by other vessels, by explorers. A sturdy, empty ship, her hull streaked with rust, drifting silently through the ice fields. She became a legend of the North, the ghost ship of the Arctic. Several attempts were made to board her, to salvage her, but she was elusive. A boarding party once got on deck, only for a sudden storm to blow in, forcing them to flee. Another time they attached a tow line, but it snapped in the night. It was as if she preferred her solitude, as if she had a will of her own. The last sighting was in 1969, 38 years after she was abandoned. Then she vanished for good. Presumably, she finally found her rest at the bottom of the Beaufort Sea. The Bechimo is a story of resilience, a story of quiet, stubborn independence. She didn't need a crew. She didn't need a destination. She was simply content to drift, content to be herself. Imagine her now, a dark, steel hull against the brilliant white of the ice floes. The Arctic sun, low on the horizon, glinting off her frosty, rusted decks. No smoke from her funnel, no lights in her portholes, only the sound of the ice scraping gently against her steel hull, a sound like wind chimes, slow, metallic, and clear, peaceful, lonely sound. The Bechimo is the part of us that continues on, steady, calm, and independent. It is the strength within you that endures, even when you feel adrift. As you drift towards sleep, know that this same quiet strength is in you. You are resilient. You are steady. You are at peace. The Bechimo drifts on in the cold, clear water, and you drift on in the warm, safe darkness, drifting to sleep. And now we go deep. We leave the surface ice behind. We are sinking again, down, past the world of sunlight. We are in the twilight zone. The water is a deep, dark blue. We keep sinking, down, past the twilight zone. We are in the midnight zone. There is no sunlight here at all. It is a world of profound, velvet black, but it is not empty. Small bioluminescent lights, like tiny blue and green stars, drift past. It is like floating in space. The pressure here is immense, but you do not feel it. You are part of the water. There is no sound at all. It is the quietest place on earth, a place of perfect, unbroken peace, absolute stillness. We are in the deep now, the final resting place. The sea is vast, and its memory is long. It remembers the Atlanta, a British training ship that vanished in 1880. She was not a cargo ship. She was a ship full of life. She left Bermuda, bound for England with 290 sailors and cadets. Most of them were young men, teenagers learning the ways of the sea, learning the ropes, full of hope and adventure. She was one of the last great sailing frigates, a beautiful, fast, powerful ship. She sailed from Bermuda into a clear sky and was never seen again. No wreckage was ever found. No lifeboats, no bodies, no planks of wood, no torn sails, no sign, just gone, swallowed whole. The theories are endless. A sudden, violent storm that capsized her in minutes. A massive rogue wave, a wall of water that swallowed the ship whole. An iceberg drifting far south. We will never know. The truth is held by the ocean, held down here in the deep. Tonight, we imagine the Atlanta not in a storm, not in her final, frightened moments. We imagine her now, at rest, here in the deep, silent abyss, the midnight zone. She is sitting upright on the ocean floor. Her tall masts are broken, but they still reach up towards a sun they cannot see. She is covered in a soft, gray silt, like a blanket of dust. The tiny, bioluminescent lights, the drifting stars of the deep, float past her empty portholes. In and out, it is a place of absolute stillness. The currents are slow, almost non-existent. The Atlanta is a story of letting go, completely, of surrendering to the deep, final peace. It is an invitation to let go of all your worries, all your fears, all your lists of things to do, and to sink down into the softest, safest bed, the bed of the ocean floor. You are sinking now, not falling. sinking gently like a single leaf drifting down through the water, down past the sunlight, down past the twilight, down into the cool, dark, comforting deep, where the world cannot find you, where you can truly finally rest. We are not in the deep anymore. We are rising, gently rising, up through the dark, up through the twilight. We are back on the surface, but we are somewhere new, somewhere different. The air is warm, and there is no wind at all. The sea is not blue. It is a golden olive green, and it is perfectly, completely still as a mirror of glass. Our final mystery is perhaps the strangest. It is not a ship. It is a place where the ocean itself seems to take a different form. A place that is an ocean within an ocean, the Sargasso Sea. It is a vast, calm region in the middle of the North Atlantic. It is unique because it has no land boundaries. Its borders are defined only by the great ocean currents that circle it. The Gulf Stream, the North Atlantic Current. They swirl around the central point, leaving the water inside, uncannily still. And it is filled with sargassum, a type of golden brown seaweed that floats in immense, continent-sized mats. For centuries, sailors feared this place. They called it the horse latitudes. Their sailing ships would drift into this windless area, and their sails would hang limp. They would get trapped, caught in the thick, endless weeds, unable to move, drifting for weeks, months. They told stories of a graveyard of ships, all held together in a great floating tangle, the sea of lost ships. This is the legend, but the reality is a place of peace. Imagine floating into the Sargasso Sea. The ship slows down. The sound of the waves is muffled by the thick, soft seaweed. It is like a blanket on the water. The ship comes to a stop, but it is not a violent stop. It is a gentle cradling. The weeds hold the hull like a soft, giant hand. The air is warm and still. The only sound is the gentle pop, pop, pop of the seaweed's tiny air bladders bursting in the sun. A sound like tiny, distant bells, a soft, popping lullaby. The water is clear, and you can see the golden forest of seaweed stretching down below you. It is a nursery, a place full of tiny, new life. Tiny crabs and shrimp and baby sea turtles, all hiding safely in the weeds. You are not trapped. You are held. You are supported. The Sargasso Sea is the ocean's embrace. It is the final destination of all drifting things. It is a place of ultimate calm. The mysteries of the Mary Celeste, the Carolet, Deering, the Flying Dutchman, the Octavius, the Bachimo, and the Atlanta. Perhaps this is where they all end up, not lost, but found, resting together in the golden, windless heart of the ocean. Their journeys are over. Their struggles are done. They are at peace. And now you are here too, floating in the warm, still Sargasso Sea, held safely, completely supported. The gentle, popping lullaby of the seaweed is the last sound you hear as you let go. The ocean has shared its deepest secrets, the whispers of the ghost ships. They are stories of silence, of stillness, and of peace. They have guided you on this journey tonight, a journey down from the noisy world to the quiet heart of everything. The Mary Celeste taught you the peace of order. The Deering taught you the peace of the unknown. The Dutchman showed you the peace of endless motion. The Octavius showed you the peace of stillness. The Bachimo showed you the peace of resilience. The Atlanta showed you the peace of surrender. And the Sargasso Sea has given you the peace of being held. The sea keeps its secrets, and tonight you are one of them, safe, sound, and deeply asleep. Your mind is as calm and vast as the ocean at midnight. Your breathing is as slow and steady as the tide. Let your mind keep its peace. Let the deep, dark water cradle you all night long. There is nothing more to do, nothing more to think. Only sleep. Good night. Sleep well. Drift deep